This is a track guide to Silverstone GP on the Audi RA GT4. Now, the technique to get through this track as quick as possible is to carry as much speed as possible through all the fast corners, as I will demonstrate through this track guide. Now, you want a clean exit through this last set of corners so that you can build as much speed as you can for this medium straight. Once you get across the start-finish line, you want to keep an eye out for this green patch. You want to brake alongside this green patch. You want to slow down just enough so that you can get the car turned in. This is a fast right-hander, so you don't want to slow down too much, but you need to practice this track a lot to find out the limits of your car, how much speed you can carry through all the fast corners, because that is the technique to this track. So you want to slow down just enough so that you can get yourself turned in. Just enough so that you can turn in, clip this green part. That's okay. Come back around to the middle so that you can go for the fast left-hander flat out. In the upcoming turn, you want to brake not at the start of the curve, but around where the curve goes out to its full width. So around here, this second red marker. You want to brake, stay to the left, and then come around for a late apex on this corner. It'll make more sense as we go. Brake there, stay to the left, come around for a late apex over here, and then you want to come back around to the right as much as possible. Over here, there isn't really that much of a specific braking marker. What I tend to do is after the start of this curve, I brake about a car's length ahead of it, so around here. You want to stay to the right and brake towards the right so that you can go a bit wide and then come back around for a late apex. You don't want to clip this turn in the middle because then you'll have to wait to get back on the power. So go out wide, brake towards the right, and then come back around for a late apex over here so that you can get back on the power early, so that you can start building speed early for the main straight. Clip that green part. For the upcoming left-hander, you want to keep an eye out for this left-hand's marker. You want to brake about half a car's length before, so around here. And you don't want to clip this part of the corner. You'll go a little bit wide and then come back around for a late apex. You want to start braking before the left-hand marker, go a bit wide, and then come back around to this green patch. This green patch will be your apex. Come back around over this green patch, come back, don't go all the way to the right, come back around to the middle portion of the track as much as you can. Over here you want to start braking alongside just about a car's length before, so right about here I'm applying my brakes. A car's length before the curb starts curving inwards to the right hand, so you want to brake a little bit before. And for this one, you also go wide for a late apex. You go a little bit wide initially. Don't go wider than these tire marks. Come back to the inside on the curb. You can get on the power early, but I let off the gas a little bit because you don't want to get on the power too early, otherwise you'll end up wide and onto the gravel. You don't want to go any wider than this. Go on to this medium straight. For this upcoming turn, you want to brake along this line just as the dark tarmac goes over to the light tarmac. You want to brake here. This is a fast right-hander, so you want to brake just enough so that your car turns in and goes through the corner. You don't want to turn in too early, as you'll go out wide. You'll basically need to practice this track a lot to find out your limitations of your car and your driving abilities. So brake and start turning in as soon as you cross this line. Brake just enough so that you can carry as much speed as possible. So brake just enough, not too much. You can clip a bit of this grass. It doesn't unsettle the car too much. Get back on the power early, come out wide. Move over to the right for the following set of turns. Now these are sets of 3 turns, and I'll break them down. So you can carry speed, you can carry full throttle through over this curve, but as soon as you cross this curve, you want to get on the brakes just enough so that you can take this fast right-hander. As soon as you cross this curve, get on the brakes just enough so that you can cross this right-hander. Come back towards the middle, don't go all the way to the left. For this fast left-hander, again, you need to slow down just enough so that you can cross this left-hander. About half brakes, just enough. Cut the apex. In this upcoming corner, you need to, as after the previous left-hander, as after your car straightens up, you want to get hard on the brakes. You want to make sort of an early apex because the track opens up and you can get back on the power early. I'll show you what I mean. Stay towards the middle, get on the brakes as soon as your car straightens up. On the brakes, you want to apex on this green patch and get on the power early because the track opens up a lot. You want to get on the power early, come out wide to this curb, and then head out wide to the following curb for the long straight. For the following turn, you want to keep an eye out for this right-hander. You want to brake just a little bit, about half a car's length before the start of this curve, so around here. You can follow the tire marks on this track. You want to slow down and turn in simultaneously, and to slow down just enough so that you can get a late apex and then get back on the power. This track will need a lot of practice to find out the limits of your car. So right about a car's length for this curb, we'll stay wide and then get back on the power for a late apex. Come back out wide for the following set of turns. You want to keep an eye out for this chicane marker. Your braking marker is between this marker and the start of the curve, so around here. You want to brake in a straight line, you want to stay to the right and turn in late for a late apex on this corner. You want to brake in a straight line, stay to the right, turn in late for a late apex, because you want to come back to the left for this fast right-hander. While going through this corner, you want to let off the power a little bit, not too much, about half throttle, so that you can get the car turned in. If you go full throttle here, you'll end up wide and then ruin the speed in the upcoming straight. Let off the power a little bit, get the car turned in, come back out wide, and then slowly head towards this corner. Here you want to make sure you clip the apex, but don't touch this sausage curve as it will send your car flying. Don't miss the apex, otherwise you'll go wide, but basically you want to do it just right so that you can finish that corner and meet the long straight. Now we'll see a lap uninterrupted. Slow down just enough for this turn, clip that apex, full throttle through this left-hander. Slow down at the start of that curve, come in for a late apex and then stick to the right. Brake wide, come in for a late apex so that you can get on the power for the long straight. Watch out for the left-hand symbol and brake about half a car's length before. Go wide a little bit, come back in for the late apex. You want to be a bit more to the left for this turn. Be careful where you get back on the power because you might go wide onto the gravel. Full throttle through here. Coming up is the fast right-hander. You want to slow down just enough at the line. Carry as much speed as possible without going wide. Slow down just enough for this fast right-hander, just enough for this fast left-hander, and just enough for this right-hander again. Apex early and then power out early, wide onto this curb. You want to start braking a little before the curb. Follow the tire marks on the track. And then late apex and then power out. Don't go too far wide. It's a bit slippery. Start braking early. Stay wide. Late apex. Lift off a little bit on that corner and then power through. Full throttle. Hit that curb, but not the sausage curb. And that's the lap. This track will need a lot of practice. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of the track through this guide. Let me know if it helps, and if you have any comments, leave them down below and I'll be sure to get back down to them.